Hey, Andrew here again. We've got day 5 of the 21-day property investors course. Now what we're going to talk about is house hacking and multi-income investing. Now because we know how important yields are, what we're looking for is ways that we can increase our weekly net income. And the thing that you want to remember is that cash flow is going to liberate you. Now what does that mean? It means if you've got a really healthy weekly positive cash flow, the net income coming into your bank account each week on top of all the money that goes out, this is going to give you a lot of freedom to choose how you spend your time and freedom to invest in more things. So capital gains is the thing that's probably going to make you wealthy, but cash flow week to week, month to month, year to year is going to give you the lifestyle options that you're probably looking for. So how do we create more cash flow? We look at ways that we can house hack. And house hacking it's a mindset. It's renting out the bedrooms of your 4-bedroom home room by room because it makes you an extra $50 to $100 a week. Now that is more work, and the frame of mind that we're using at the moment is, let's say you own a 4-bedroom house. You're renting out the 3 best bedrooms at $200 a week, and you're using the smallest or the worst bedroom for yourself, and you're essentially probably living for free or for very minimal outgoing costs. So if you have a 4-bedroom house that rents out at say $650 a week, or you rent out the 3 best bedrooms for $200 a week each, and you have the last bedroom, then you're essentially paying only $50 a week rent to have that bedroom. And who knows, maybe even that $600 you're getting from everyone else is actually more than covering the mortgage expense. So what we're trying to do is get yourself in an early stage to living for free or living without a housing cost. Now when you're getting started, this is really great, but if you're already established, you already got a couple of properties, or renting out properties by the room is not an exciting prospect, then maybe what you want to consider is minor dwellings. Now each city and each council region is going to have their own different rules, and they do change. You want to understand what your options are for minor dwellings, or what the options are with the investment properties you're looking at buying are, because depending on the size of the available land, depending on connections, depending on any restrictions or closeness to certain things, you might be able to fit some other dwellings on the site. Might only be a 1 or 2 bedroom property or bedroom, but it's going to be giving you an option of taking like a low yield property to something much higher. And again, it's going to give you way more cash flow if you're adding other dwellings to this property. And you'll often drive through areas where they're very obviously investment properties, and there'll be a lot of these small shed-like looking dwellings in the backyard. And so what you've got is units and then like a little minor dwelling at the back, and that's how that investor is getting maximum rental return on that investment option. And the thing you got to remember is you might only rent it out for $80, $120 a week, but it's very regular, and people don't have to live there. The market is deciding. You are offering something to the market as a rental option, and if somebody's willing to take that on, then you might feel like you're not providing something that is good enough for yourself, but you're providing a cheap option for somebody that's at their stage of life, that's all they want or can afford at that time. So always remember that yield matters. Yield is going to help you borrow more. It's going to help you not be as exposed or stressed out by your debt burdens. Now when you're looking at investment properties, you want to have an eye for detail. You want to figure out if there's land enough on these properties to fit a house with wheels, a tiny home, or a relocatable home. Are you going to be able to increase the yield of this property in a way that maybe other people are not noticing, that you're willing to pay more than anyone else because you know you can immediately increase the yield and get a better return? Now minor dwellings is one thing, and they're not the same as a home and income. A home and income is basically 2 or 3 properties on the same bit of land. Now, home and incomes can be made up, typically a 4-bedroom and a 2-bedroom, 3 and a 1, 2 and a 2. There's lots of different combinations, and home and income is actually really good for first home buyers as well as investors. The reason it's great for first home buyers is if you've, for example, got a $700K budget as a first home buyer, if you buy a home and income that's going to get rental income, that might push your $700K borrowing option up to $1 million, for example, because it's going to be supported by rental income. And especially if you buy, say you buy a 4 and a 2, 4 main house, 2 small house bedroom on that home and income, and you live in this 2-bedroom, then you, as a first home buyer, you're renting out a 4-bedroom home, probably at a surplus, to support you on the income for that whole property, on the cost, sorry. And then when you move out, your first investment property is already sorted for you. You've actually got 2. So when you're buying your second investment or your second property, you're essentially buying your 3rd dwelling as owner occupied. And these home and incomes, when you buy well, can be a really awesome springboard for newer investors. Generally speaking, you're going to see these home and incomes advertised based on their yields, and that's why, and future development options, you really want to have an extra for experts kind of mentality and that eye for detail, understanding the development and subdivision potential, understanding how to get more yield from that existing property. And you might be able to increase rent or increase charges to individual tenants by offering appliances, furniture, storage. There's all sorts of things that you can do to take what you might be charging $180 a week up to $210 a week, and that over a year and across multiple tenancies is going to make a very big difference, not only to this cash flow side of things, which makes life a lot better, but also for borrowing power, which allows you to keep repeating the process. So house hacking is definitely something that you're going to want to learn more about. Buying a single dwelling on a single bit of land is not creative, and it's not going to be the way that you're going to get those 10 properties. You really got to understand how to increase the yield and how to squeeze more tenants into properties within reason. So any questions about house hacking, let us know and we'll get on to day 6.